There is a specific kind of financial disaster that only happens to people who are completely, rationally, evidence-based sure that what they are doing will work. This is one of those. She was not gambling. That is the part she keeps coming back to. 2 years later, sitting in a car she paid cash for because she cannot look at a monthly payment right now without feeling something in her chest. She was not gambling. She was certain. The discovery is not dramatic. It does not happen in a single moment. There is no number on a screen, no notification, no phone call. The discovery happens over about 40 minutes on a Tuesday afternoon when she finally sits down to do what she has been meaning to do for 2 years, which is add up the total. She makes a spreadsheet. That is how she finds out. She makes a spreadsheet because she is that kind of person, the kind who trusts a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet does not lie to her or soften the number or tell her she is being too hard on herself. It just adds. $34,260. Over 24 months. Gone. Not stolen, not spent on anything she can point to and say that was worth it. Just gone. The way money goes when you keep making one reasonable seeming decision after another and they are all wrong. Here is what she actually was. A 31-year-old logistics coordinator with a salary of $68,000, a reasonable amount of savings for her age, call it $41,000 across a 401k and a regular savings account, and a very specific theory about real estate in her mid-sized city that she had spent 2 years developing. The theory was not uninformed. She had read extensively, followed the local market obsessively, talked to people who owned investment properties, and identified what she was convinced was an undervalued pocket of her city where prices had not yet caught up with a wave of commercial development coming in from the east side. She was not guessing. She was analyzing. She was building a case. The plan was to use her savings as a down payment on a small investment property, a 2-bedroom, something she could rent while values rose, something she could sell in 5 years with a meaningful return. The commercial development was coming. She knew it was coming. She had the permits, the filings, the council minutes. What she did not have, it turned out, was the thing she could not have accounted for, which was a rezoning dispute that dragged for 19 months and finally resolved in the wrong direction, pulling the commercial investment out entirely and taking her thesis with it. The part she cannot fully explain, even now, is that she had exit points, moments where the situation shifted clearly enough that a reasonable person would have reassessed. When the rezoning dispute first appeared, 8 months in, she told herself it was a temporary complication. When it dragged past a year, she told herself the delay actually protected her position because it slowed competing buyers. She was not lying to herself exactly. She was just very, very good at finding the interpretation that let her stay. There is something she said about this that I keep thinking about. That certainty is not actually a feeling of confidence. It feels more like relief, like the decision is already made and you do not have to keep re-examining it. The certainty is the rest. And the thing about rest is that it is very hard to give up voluntarily. She also, and this is the part she finds genuinely funny in the specific way that only terrible things can be funny, she also told 2 friends about the investment, not asking for advice, telling them, walking them through the thesis with a kind of quiet authority because she had done the work and she knew. One of them, a year later, asked how the property was going. She said, fine. The actual breakdown, once the spreadsheet was done, she had put $27,000 down on the property. Mortgage payments, insurance, and maintenance over 24 months came to roughly $1,300 a month. The property rented for $900. That gap, $400 a month every month, she covered out of her salary because she kept believing the commercial development would close and the rent would rise with it. When the rezoning failed and the development pulled out, she sold. The property moved for $214,000 against a purchase price of $238,000. Factor in closing costs both ways, and she came out at roughly a $34,000 total loss. The down payment partially recovered, but the carry costs and the sale loss stacked. That $41,000 she had going in, the savings she was building since her mid-20s, sat at around $9,000 when the dust settled. She was not broke. She still had income, still had employment, still had her 401k, which she had not touched. But the runway she had built, the cushion that had made her feel like an adult who was on top of things, was almost entirely gone, and she had spent 2 years doing it to herself, one reasonable seeming month at a time. After the sale closes, she keeps the spreadsheet open on her laptop for 3 days before closing the tab, not looking at it, just leaving it there. She goes to work. She answers emails about freight routing and pallet dimensions and delivery windows. She makes dinner. She watches something on her phone propped against a water glass on her bathroom counter while she takes a bath, the way she has done for years, and everything about the bath is the same as it has always been, except for a feeling somewhere behind her sternum that she cannot quite describe as grief, and cannot quite describe as embarrassment, and is probably both. The second friend, the one who did not ask about the property, texts about getting brunch. She says yes. She goes. She orders the same thing she always orders and talks about a show they are both watching, and the whole time she is aware of a number sitting somewhere just off to the side of the conversation, patient, not going anywhere. I keep trying to find the place in this story where she was reckless, and I cannot locate it. She researched, she modeled, she had a thesis built on documented evidence. And the thesis was wrong, not because she was sloppy, but because the thing she could not predict did not happen the way she predicted it. That is not ignorance. That is just how it goes sometimes, and I think that is actually the most unsettling version of a bad bet. The one where you did everything you were supposed to do and it still came apart. What she is sitting with now, and this is the part I would be sitting with, is not the loss itself exactly, but the way the loss happened across such a long stretch of time. 24 months. That is a long time to be telling yourself a story about why the next month will be different. If I were building this back, I think I would spend some time being honest about that specific pattern, not beating myself up about it, but understanding it. Because the money being gone is one thing, and the rebuilt savings can come back, but the pattern of staying past the point where the evidence has turned is the thing that could happen again. The $9,000 that is left is not nothing. I would not touch it. That is the line between a setback and a crisis, and right now she is on the setback side of it, which means there is still something to protect. With her salary, $68,000, she could get back to something that feels like real cushion in 18 months if she is deliberate about it. That is not a long time, measured against the 2 years she just had. It is shorter than the thing she survived. The thing I would genuinely struggle with is the friends. The one who asked how the property was going. She said fine. I understand why. Completely. 100%. But I also think there is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from carrying a financial story that does not match what you have told people, and it is a heavier carry than most people admit. I do not think she owes anyone the number, but I think the weight of fine is worth noticing. She is rebuilding now, carefully, month by month, the way you rebuild something when you are not entirely sure you trust your own judgment yet. And that uncertainty is maybe the most honest part of all of this. What I want to ask, and I mean this in the most genuinely curious way, is whether you have ever been certain about something financial. The way she was certain, not hoping it would work out, but actually certain, and if so, how do you tell the difference, while you are still inside it, between the kind of certainty that is grounded in real evidence, and the kind that is just the relief of not having to keep questioning the decision? Thank you for being here for this one. If it landed somewhere real for you, subscribe. There is a lot more where this came from, and every story on this channel is worth your time. Take care of yourselves out there. Genuinely.